Fox News alert here as we are now getting further word on the reports of missiles fired from Russia into Poland, where 2 people were killed on the ground there. The last we updated you, President Biden was on the phone with the Polish president, Duda. We believe that phone call has since ended because we're now told the Polish president is speaking to the Ukrainian President Zelensky on the phone. What we did just learn from the Polish president via a statement that he is describing the missile incident as an Article 4 situation when a member state feels threatened by another country or terrorist organization. In a tweet issued saying that Duda just finished talking to Jan Stoltenberg, we verify the premise of Article 4 of NATO. We are in contact with our allies and we expect talks with the American side. We're unsure of the timeline here of the mention of the talks on the American side because, as I mentioned, President Biden was just speaking, we were told, with the Polish president. So whether or not the statement came out before that phone call started, we do not know. Here to react is Wall Street Journal editor-at-large Gerry Baker. Gerry, thank you very much for jumping on the breaking news here for us. What do you make of all this? It seems to be confirmed then via the statement from the Polish president that Russia did indeed fire missiles into Poland where 2 people were killed.
Yeah, Sandra, thanks for having me. Look, this is what we've always feared from the start of this conflict, that an escalation could be caused by this reckless belligerence of the Russians. We don't know if this was deliberate, but one would strongly suspect it wasn't, that they've been carefully avoiding so far, or reasonably carefully avoiding hitting a NATO country, and it looks like these maybe were stray missiles, which obviously tragically ended up killing people. Nonetheless, that shows, first of all, it is an attack on a NATO country, even if it's an unintended one, and secondly, it shows the risk that there is to NATO countries from this conflict. So I would absolutely expect the United States and its allies to come together. President Biden has said every inch of NATO territory will be defended. What I don't expect is this, as exactly as you've just laid out very clearly there, Sandra, I don't expect there to be an Article 5 declaration here. Article 5 commits other countries to essentially go to war in defense of a country that is attacked by an outside country. Article 4, which is the Polish president is already talking about, calls upon the NATO countries to come together, to consult and to consider what action there is in the presence of an external threat. So it's serious, it's worrying, it's an indication of how dangerous this situation is and how easy it is for this to escalate. I don't, however, think I think cool heads will prevail. I think there will be some very stern warnings to Russia. I expect there to be very strong back-channel communications to find out exactly what happened and to warn Russia that if this happens again, there will be serious consequences. But at the moment, I don't think this is something that's going to lead us into a dramatically escalated conflict.
So while the Polish president didn't describe exactly what happened with this incident, we should be clear. One could take away, as you mentioned, describing this as a NATO Article 4 incident. What exactly happened? We're awaiting further detail. Gerry Baker, we appreciate you jumping on the breaking news for us. I also just want to get this in here before we hand off to the 5. But per the White House a few moments ago, the president did speak with the president of Poland, Duda, from Bali, Indonesia, where the president's currently traveling. The call ended 5:30 a.m. local time, so they did speak, and we are likely to get much more news as the hours go on here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.